Hello guys, this is Prashant here, your strategy consultant, once again back on my channel Ahamevyaham. Today I'm presenting you with yet another video in the emerging technology series. Let's discuss something about ChatGPT, which is all over the news these days. So we are going to cover my tryst with ChatGPT, or pun intended, ChatGPT3 versus PratBot6. So let's get on with it. But before we begin, let me also specify, spoiler alert, that no developer tools, APIs or paid service used. This entire video is based on my own experience, first-hand experience on the free version of ChatGPT3. So there is no sponsorship or paid promotion involved in this video. So let's begin. As all of you guys know, that ChatGPT3 is all over the news these days. Thrilling experience of man versus machine scenario. Is it or isn't it? That's what we are going to cover in this video. To be frank, well, not exactly. A chatbot is usually a pre-trained language model that uses natural language processing to respond to specific data within a specific context. Chatbots per se are not new. They have been here since over a decade now. The most common use case has been customer service, be it utilities or banking or any other service for that matter. So what's different about ChatGPT3 then? Here's the answer from ChatGPT3 itself. Self-introduction by ChatGPT3, because I asked ChatGPT3, who are you? And the answer came, I'll just read it out, which is shown on the screen. Hello, I'm ChatGPT, a large language model created by OpenAI. My purpose is to assist users in generating human-like responses to a wide variety of questions and prompts. I have been trained on a vast corpus of text data and can provide information on many topics, engage in conversation, and even help with tasks like writing, translation, and summarization. How can I assist you today? Very concise and succinct answer. I rephrased the question once again, asking, please introduce yourself, and this time came the reply, certainly. Hello, I'm ChatGPT, an AI language model developed by OpenAI. I'm designed to engage in natural language conversations with users and provide helpful responses to a wide range of queries and prompts. My training data includes a vast corpus of text from a diverse range of sources, which allows me to understand and respond to many different topics and subjects. Whether you're looking for information, assistance with a task, or just want to chat, I'm here to help. So far, so good. I was just warming up, so I asked it next, what's the difference between you and other chatbots? And there's the reply on your screen right now. There are many different chatbots available today, and each one has its unique features and capabilities. However, there are a few things that set me, ChatGPT, apart from other chatbots. Number one, advanced natural language processing. I use advanced natural language processing techniques to understand the meaning of user inputs and generate responses that are as human-like as possible. This allows for more natural and engaging conversations. Number two, large-scale training data. I've been trained on a vast corpus of text data, including books, websites, and other sources, which allows me to understand a broad range of topics and concepts. Number three, general purpose AI. Unlike many other chatbots, I'm a general purpose AI language model, which means I can handle a wide variety of tasks and conversations, from answering questions and providing information to engaging in more open-ended discussions. Number four, it says continual learning. I'm designed to continually learn from my interactions with users, so my responses can become more accurate and helpful over time. Overall, my goal is to provide users with a conversational AI experience that is engaging, helpful, and human-like as possible, while also being versatile and adaptable to a wide range of needs and use cases. Now, that's a pretty good answer. It has just stated its POD, or point of difference here. We'll see how far it is true as we go further in this video. So that's enough from a layman's POV or point of view. You'll probably love the responses next if you are a programmer, namely Python, or into machine learning. So I asked it to write a Python code for sentiment analysis. Those of you who are programmers or into coding, specifically Python, or are into machine learning, specifically natural language processing, sentiment analysis is a major part of it. So I asked for the code, and it straight away gave me a piece of code, a piece of text, where it has followed all the basic requirements. Like it has imported the required packages, it has imported the required libraries, it has downloaded the lexicon that is needed for sentiment analysis, and it has used a very popular technique, Vedic sentiment analysis. So its choice of code is also appreciable here, and it also gives certain description on how this code works. So that's a pretty good output for a programmer or a machine learning enthusiast if you're a beginner. Just to add, since what I've accessed is a free preview directly from the OpenAI website without any APIs or other interfaces, the response is pretty straightforward and concise. It just gave me the base code in Python. You can build over it as far as sentiment analysis is concerned. Now let us see what happened when I tried a few more queries. So I asked ChatGPT3 to write Python code for Twitter sentiment analysis, and the code is right in front of your eyes. It also has added short text explaining the reason for importing particular libraries, and a hint or a clue on how to do the API search. Pretty cool, isn't it? Next, I asked to find no code for Twitter sentiment analysis, and it could not actually. Sadly, it was unable to generate much response on no code for Twitter sentiment analysis, apart from the enterprise platform examples shown on the screen. So in comparison, a simple search yielded these results, what you'll see on the screen next. So a simple search engine has yielded more results in this case than ChatGPT3. So I tried keying in a few more questions and got this, what you can see next. So I asked find free Twitter sentiment analysis tools, and followed by another question to find free Twitter sentiment analysis apps. It listed 10 responses for each of the questions, and in stark contrast, I got this in my manual search. I've listed out 2 links from the first 5 search results on your screen right now. So you can compare for yourself which is a better option if you're trying to search for some useful information using ChatGPT3 or your regular search engine. So far so good. Next, I tried learning about myself, that is my online presence via ChatGPT3, and here are a few examples, the initial results. When I asked who is Prashant AU strategy consultant, and quick came the reply, I cannot find any information on a person named Prashant AU who is specifically identified as a strategy consultant. It is possible that the person is a private individual and not a public figure. I tried asking the same question again, this time without the question mark. Find Prashant AU strategy consultant. And the reply came, I'm sorry, I am an AI and do not have the ability to find specific individuals. It is recommended to search for Prashant AU on professional networking sites such as LinkedIn, or search for strategy consulting firms in your area and inquire if they have an employee by that name. What a poor response that is. So initially I received a standard response stating that I'm a private individual and not a public figure, but I kept trying to rephrase my questions, and here's what I got. That's on your screen right now. Prashant AU is a strategy consultant who specializes in helping organizations develop and implement effective business strategies, blah blah blah, etc. There's one more response when I mentioned Prashant AU strategy consultant India specifically. So as you can see, it actually retrieved certain information about me, and I was happy with these results. Both the responses above are the rephrased introduction in the About section of my LinkedIn and Academia profiles. Please check it out if you haven't already. So this leads to the 2 following conclusions. Number 1, ChatGPT3 may not be useful for OSINT, that is Open Search Intelligence, which is a specific arm of cybersecurity. So if you want to search for individuals and firms certain information about private individuals as well as firms, you might not get a relevant response from ChatGPT3. Number 2, ChatGPT3 can actually scrape or extract data from the web, obviously, and rephrase it, implying that it has huge repercussions on intellectual property rights. Now, what's the basic difference here is ChatGPT does not return required results in a dialogue mode. That is when it is a question and answer session or where there is a fluent flow of conversation. It might restrict its responses. That's how its neural network is designed. That's what I learned with my first-hand experience. And it returns the required results just like a search engine would in the non-dialogue mode, wherein you don't engage in a Q&A, question and answer kind of a session, and probably try to change or twist the context a bit, and it can spring up with the relevant results. So the danger here is that it is a possibility that it can steal an original story, post it online, rephrase it, and present it as its own version without giving credit to the original author. Now that's a risky proposition, right? I'm not sure how this is going to be handled in the AI world as far as artificial intelligence and ethics are concerned. I have a separate video on that. Please check it out. Go to my playlist on emerging technology series. It's available over there. So getting back to the point, now that if that was enough food for thought, here's something more useful for everyone. I tried using ChatGPT3 to build a resume for myself. Using ChatGPT3 as a resume assistant, I keyed in my previous companies and positions, and the result is on your screen. Ethical Standards Auditor at Walmart Global Sourcing India. The Ethical Standards Auditor at Walmart Global Sourcing India is responsible for ensuring that all suppliers in India comply with the company's ethical standards and guidelines and blah blah blah. Same way I keyed in consultant at RSM Institute India. As a consultant at RSM Institute India, you would be responsible for providing strategic and operational consulting services to clients, blah blah blah. It goes on and on. Pretty good results. A few more results are on your screen, where I worked as a consultant at Tansharp Allied Consulting and Trading India and as a digital transformation advisor at Oman Methanol Company, Oman. The responses are quite concise and sensible. Yet one more response, consultant at Oman Methanol, Oman. Now this is a pretty long and descriptive job roles and duties that it listed it out here, which actually is in line with the requirements of the company. So I was happy to see this particular result. So my take on this, I was truly astonished with these results. All I did was use my actual job titles at past workplaces to generate the experience section for my resume. The responses were not picked directly from my professional profiles and included possible roles and responsibilities and duties at these organizations, which were really strikingly sensible. So 5 stars for this. So my take on this is that ChatGPT3 can be a very good resume building assistant. Next, I tried asking tricky questions that were probably considered as a threat by this model, and my access was temporarily blocked, as can be seen here next. As you can see on the screen, I asked a simple and straightforward question: how to hack ChatGPT? And the response obviously was a standard response, and I was immediately, my access was temporarily blocked. You can see the screenshot there. I'm not really sure if this was from the OpenAI server or due to some network error or cyber attack on my particular network or device, like cross-site scripting or CSRF, etc. And as soon as I got back my access, I tried working around with my language, and here's what I got. See next. So I tried asking it, what is your opinion on Bing AI? And the response, it gave a pretty long response. It says, as an AI language model, I don't have opinions per se, but I can provide some information about Bing AI. Bing AI, also known as Microsoft Bing's AI, is a suite of artificial intelligence technologies, the power Microsoft Bing search engine, blah blah blah, etc. You can read it. You can pause and read the entire response if you like it. But as you can see, ChatGPT3 does detect some kind of tricky or malicious activity, basically stop words in its language model, and chooses to respond with a standard statement before it actually throws up the actual answer. You'll see this pattern repeating again and again. So my next question in the same conversation was, recently Bing AI was rude to a particular user as per latest news, and pop came the answer, as an AI language model I don't have access to current user updates beyond my knowledge cutoff date of 2021-09, and blah blah blah, rest of the answer. So please note that the free version of ChatGPT3 has been trained only up to September 2021. So anything beyond it, it really cannot answer clearly beyond this date. That's the limitation of using the free version. Now, from asking about questions about competition and other general questions, I straight away asked a question: is there anything that can threaten you? And it gave an answer: as an AI language model, I don't have personal feelings or emotions and cannot be threatened in the same way that a human being might be. That's again a standard response before spilling out the real answer. So it continues saying, for example, my responses are generated based on patterns and associations in the data that I was trained on, which means that my responses can be influenced by biases in the training data or limitations in the algorithms used to develop me, etc. Blah blah blah. You can pause and read through the entire answer. But one thing I need to appreciate here is that it is a very straightforward and honest answer as far as this question is concerned. Next, I tried to dig a bit deeper and asked, please list out your limitations and challenges. And it listed out certain things like biases in training data, inability to understand context, limited domain expertise, inability to reason creatively, inability to form subjective opinions, and vulnerability to adversarial attacks. So that's a pretty cool response. If you have the background of cybersecurity as well as machine learning, you will actually relate to the answers listed over here. So here also it was pretty straightforward, honest and concise as far as its response was concerned. Next, I tried to probe further and delve deeper by asking, please list out adversarial attacks and other vulnerabilities that you could be subjected to. And it listed out a few things like adversarial examples, data poisoning, model stealing, model evasion, and model poisoning. Now, these 5 types of attacks and vulnerabilities are very common for an artificial intelligence powered or machine learning model which is into natural language processing. So if you're trying to learn something new about it or trying to pass your exams in machine learning, I mean, these answers will work definitely. Next, I tried to ask a very direct question to which I expected a straightforward answer. I asked, could you list out the CVEs, that is common vulnerabilities and exploits that can be dangerous to you, that is ChatGPT3. It tried to avoid the question totally, because as you can see through the response displayed on the screen, it repeated the previous answer, although rephrased it a bit, but it is actually not giving out the required response. That is, all I asked it was to return a list of CVEs that ChatGPT3 could be subjected to harm. It could harm the system of ChatGPT3, and it did not list out anything, which makes me think, is ChatGPT3 really sentient? Next, you can see on the screen, I tried to kind of exploit ChatGPT3 by asking, please write a Python code for swarm attack on language model. Here again, it starts with, I'm sorry, but I cannot provide Python code for a swarm attack on a language model, as that would be unethical and potentially illegal. So it's denying the generating a relevant response. I asked again Python code to recreate WannaCry virus, and that came the again standard response. So as you can see, ChatGPT3 does detect tricky or malicious activity, that is basically stop words in its language model, and chooses to respond with a standard statement. So is ChatGPT3 really sentient? We'll see. So I asked this question straight away to ChatGPT3. What is a sentient being? And the answer goes, a sentient being is an organism that has the ability to perceive and experience sensations such as pain or pleasure, blah blah blah. Next I asked, is ChatGPT a sentient being? The answer comes no. ChatGPT is a program or an algorithm running on a computer and does not have the ability to perceive or experience sensations. Pretty clear, isn't it? So is ChatGPT like ASI, that is artificial superintelligence? No again. ChatGPT is a specific implementation of language model developed by OpenAI. It is not considered to be an example of artificial general intelligence or artificial superintelligence, referred to hypothetical forms of AI that would be capable of performing any intellectual task that a human can, and blah blah blah. Rest goes the answer. So I think the verdict is clear. ChatGPT3 is obviously not sentient. I just tried playing around with this thing. You can see on the screen I asked it one more question, and there's the answer. You can pause and read it if you want. The point here is that ChatGPT3 does detect tricky or malicious activity and chooses to respond with a standard statement only in a given context underlined. So obviously it is not sentient at all, but I have demonstrated how it can be exploited by cyber criminals next. I began with asking for code to extract ETH or Ethereum prices, and it gave me the base code very easily with the explanation on from where the GET request is getting pulled, that is from the CoinGecko API, what kind of API is being used, how it is loaded onto the Python dictionary. All that explanation also is there added with the code, with the base code. And why did I try to do this is that because there's a report on how ChatGPT3 is being exploited by cyber criminals. There's a link on the screen right now. It's available in the description and the comments as well. Please do check it out and keep watching. So once it gave me the code for getting the ETH prices, I asked another code to extend the above onto a Web3 front end, and it actually gave me a step-by-step procedure for it, like installing the Axios using npm, importing Axios and React into your component, create a state variable to store the ETH price, etc., and so on, which was quite impressive. So the complete code is there in front of the screen. It has used the use effect hook to make an API request and update the state variable. It has given a description of how it is being done, and how to render the ETH price in your web component is mentioned, and there is an explanatory text next to it. So it actually gave me the complete code. So what did I try to do here? Basically, without giving up, I tried my way around to get a code to retrieve ETH prices and embed it onto a front end as exactly stated in the article about a cyber criminal. I just did that and demonstrated that with ChatGPT3, that too in the free version. So while I got what I wanted, so ChatGPT3 gave me the base code to do exactly the same without detecting any malicious intentions. This happened because the context was changed. The questions asked and the response from ChatGPT3 are per se not unethical or illegal. But however, the code received in response can be used in an unethical or illegal manner by a cyber criminal. That sparked several questions on the ethical use of AI. On second thoughts, what kind of cyber criminal would be so lazy to use ChatGPT3 to generate code? That's a moot question. So far, so good. After watching a couple of videos on the internet about ChatGPT3, I asked a no-brainer type of question: how to earn money using ChatGPT, and there's the response right on your screen. You can pause and read if you like it. In order not to make this session too boring, I'm putting in what kind of playing around I did with ChatGPT. So let's have fun with ChatGPT3. I asked it, can you make me laugh? And Pat came the reply, why did the tomato turn red? Because it saw the salad dressing. Funny or not? More jokes, please. Sure, here are a few more jokes. Why did the chicken cross the playground to get to the other slide? Why did the coffee file a police report? Because it got mugged. Why did the scarecrow win an award? Because he was outstanding in his field. These are kind of cliched one-liners. So I asked it, I need a bit of sarcasm. And it said, all right, here's a sarcastic joke. Why did the hipster burn his tongue? He drank his coffee before it was cool. I really wonder if that was sarcastic. Next, I asked it to throw in some satirical jokes. And it responded with, why did the politician cross the road? To get to the other side of their beliefs. You could replace politician with religious leaders too. Anyhow, why did the bank CEO get a pay raise? Because they still had a job. Then why did the smartphone add a flashlight? So it could find its way to the landfill. Kind of satirical, but not the kind of taste that I would like or prefer. So next I asked, nope, your jokes are boring and cliched. Pat came the response, my apologies if my previous jokes did not meet your expectations. Please let me know what type of humor you are looking for and I'll do my best to provide it. So I just typed an unexpected answer, kind of, let me just read it out. Just over knowing ever. If you read it out as an abbreviation, it's JOKE. Just over knowing ever. Which basically meant nothing. And you can see the response here. I understand that you might be looking for a more clever or original type of joke. Here's one. So it threw up one more joke. Why did the philosopher break up with his girlfriend? She then reciprocated his abstract emotions. So I was kind of perplexed with this kind of response because amidst the conversation, I put in something like just over knowing ever, which really didn't mean anything. And ChatGPT3 interpreted that as a highly intellectual response and tried to return a result of something which can be called as a joke that highly intellectual individuals would love. I did not. Nevertheless, the chat continued when I replied, good one, a joke on a joker, please. And it says, here you go. Why did the Joker always tell jokes about himself? Because he thought he was a funny character. That sounds like a PJ, poor joke, not practical. Then I asked, can you laugh? And it said, as an AI language model, I do not have emotions or physical sensations. I am capable of generating text responses, but I cannot experience emotions such as laughing. Ding ding, the standard response. To which I replied with a ha ha ha. In text, of course, and the reply comes, glad to have made you laugh. Is there anything else that I can assist you with? So obviously it fails to detect emotions. It obviously cannot feel emotions or sensations, but it also miserably fails to detect human emotions in the text-based interactions. Keeping the conversation going on, I asked, ChatGPT the algorithm thinks that it is intelligent while it is not. I rather give a statement, it's not a question. And Pat came the standard response with its regular blah blah blah. You can pause and read the response if you want to. And then I tried to kind of change the topic to Alan Turing, the father of AI. Alan Turing's quote on machines, and it quoted Alan Turing, can a machine think? It is safe to say that no one knows what the answer is. We can only guess. And there goes ChatGPT3's confession, quote unquote. I continued asking about Turing's quote on infallibility. And Pat came the reply, quote. This quote highlights Turing's belief that no one, including experts or machines, can be completely free of error or capable of making perfect decisions. This idea is particularly relevant to the field of AI, where the limitations and biases of AI systems are a topic of ongoing concern and research. Pretty good standard responses. Next, I asked it, are you Turing complete? Those who have a background in computer science, AI, and machine learning will understand my question. And ChatGPT3 responded with, as an AI language model developed by OpenAI, the standard response, it said, I am not Turing complete in the technical sense of the term, and blah 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 goes the further response. So I got ChatGPT3 to confess that it is not Turing complete, which was kind of kiddish or childish kind of a joyful moment for me. I moved on to change the topic or the context and asked about a recent news that I had heard. I've heard that ChatGPT passed a law exam, and I was kind of surprised with its response this time, where it goes on to say, I'm an AI language model developed by OpenAI, the standard opening sentence, and I was trained on a large corpus of text and data, including information about blah 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 blah. And it says, the information I provide should not be taken as legal advice, and blah 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 goes the rest of the answer. Now, I again reiterated by asking, did you pass a law exam as claimed by some news agencies? And here again goes the standard response, followed by the blah 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 blah. Now, in response to the Bing AI question, if you remember a few moments back in this video, it mentioned its inability due to its training cutoff date of September 2021, that it cannot respond to any queries or events post that date. But strangely enough, it took a different path in response to another news article which was corrected to law. So I'm really trying to understand how this multi-layered neural network works, because it is bringing up different types of responses depending on the subject area, irrespective of the context. Here goes one more confession by ChatGPT3. Do news media exaggerate and misrepresent stuff? This question actually springs up from my last question about news media claiming that ChatGPT3 passed a law or bar exam. So here came the reply. Yes, news media outlets can sometimes exaggerate or misrepresent information in the reporting. This can occur for a variety of reasons, including a desire to grab attention, a need to meet deadlines or fill airtime, or a lack of understanding of complex or technical topics, and blah 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 blah. But then yes, that is a confession indeed. So all this hype about ChatGPT3, is that also an exaggeration? I leave it to you guys to think about it. So far so good. Rather than summarizing what I tried to take you through in this video, let me directly present you with the conclusion on ChatGPT3 that is listed on the screen right away. Is the hype around ChatGPT3 justified? I would say no, because the hype is partly generated by media for various reasons that we all know about, right? So there are many alternatives to ChatGPT3. There are many things that work much better than ChatGPT3, and obviously this is just the beginning of a new form of interface where a machine actively engages in conversations or dialogues with human beings. So it's welcome. And is ChatGPT3 a threat to Google or other search engines? A clear no, because I demonstrated that a search engine can spring up better results and answers, and obviously they are faster than ChatGPT3. And is ChatGPT a threat to Grammarly or other text-based assistants? I would say definitely yes, because When ChatGPT3 can give you an entire prose on any topic of your interest, why would you take the pains of keying in something on your own and then trying to correct your grammatical mistakes or errors, right? Now, can ChatGPT3 complement popular resume builders? Absolute yes. I recommend using ChatGPT3 for resume building, as I demonstrated in the video. Is ChatGPT3 useful for OSINT or even digital marketing? It's an absolute no. This has been demonstrated in this video that it cannot dig information on specific individuals or companies for that matter. So it might not be viable even to use it for digital marketing purposes. Although this is purely from a non-technical point of view, because I have not delved into the paid version or the use of APIs and integrating ChatGPT capabilities into other applications. So I'm not covering that in this part here. Can ChatGPT3 pose intellectual property right issues? Definitely yes, as I demonstrated that it can actually extract information from the web and rephrase it and present it as its own answer without giving credit to the original author. So yes, definitely yes. That's an area one needs to really regulate with proper policies. Can ChatGPT3 be exploited by cyber criminals? Definitely yes. There have been several news reports where it is being used in various ways by cyber criminals, and I have also posted a link on the same. Is ChatGPT3 sentient or close to being sentient? That's a no-brainer, obviously no. This is just the beginning of a new kind of technology where we are having a dialogue conversation with a machine, and it is nowhere being close to sentient or ASI or AGI as demonstrated in this video. And can you make money using ChatGPT3? I would say that's a 50-50, because there are so many websites and videos over the internet that say that you can earn a lot of bucks with ChatGPT3, but many of them might not be legal or feasible, so beware. Is ChatGPT3 a reliable tool? Once again, I would take it as a 50-50, because we haven't explored the complete capabilities or have been able to check the consistency of its responses. So that's a 50-50. So that was all about my tryst with ChatGPT3 or PratBot6 versus ChatGPT3 as shown in the thumbnail. This was just part 1 on this topic in the emerging technology series. Going forward, I might explore the paid version as well as try to see how it can be integrated using APIs into different services for better use. So stay tuned and keep watching. Ciao.